Judge, thank you for being here. And of course, as most people may or may not know, the 8th Judicial District Court is one of the busiest in the entire country. Give us some numbers. How many judges, how many cases do you handle annually?
We have 32 judges in the Civil Criminal Division. They're general jurisdiction trial judges. They handle civil matters of a value of $10,000 in dispute or more, upwards of millions and millions. We have criminal judges who handle felony jury trials and felony sentencings. And then we have 20 judges in our family division: divorce, child custody, dependency, delinquency of juveniles. So that's 52 judges total.
And most of the courtrooms are in the Regional Justice Center, but not all of them. Tell us about all the campuses in the system.
Well, we have grown out of our space at the Regional Justice Center and at the Family Court campus. There are judges, a majority of the judges in the Family Division are on the Family Court campus on Pecos. All Civil Criminal Division judges, with the exception of a few civil judges, are in the Regional Justice Center on Lewis. We have some satellite offices for all civil judges who may deal in large complex litigation cases, and so we have an off-site large courtroom for their use. And we also have facilities for our child support division.
Obviously, it's your day-to-day work in Department 9. You hear cases, but you're also the chief judge for District 8. Tell me what duties that involves.
Well, the chief judge of the 8th Judicial District Court is responsible for the assignment of all cases within the district. There are rules that delineate how a case gets assigned, but sometimes there are problems within those rules and the chief judge makes the decision. The chief judge manages the business of the court, the assignments of the judges. Let's say we have business court judges being assigned. That's the decision of the chief judge. The chief judge also rules on all motions to disqualify in the district. If there's something about your case where you feel your judge should be disqualified from your case, then pursuant to statute, that decision is made by me or my designee.
You're also involved with some of the administration or some of the day-to-day operations, I presume, in the court. You're always working on a strategic plan. Tell me about some of the highlights of that.
Well, we are a very large court, the largest in the state. We have over 100,000 cases that we are responsible for each year. We have a $54 million budget. We have over approximately 600 employees. Those are persons in the clerk's office, people who directly work for the judges, marshals, administration staff. And so we have all the kinds of challenges that a business would have in that regard, if you will. We also have facilities issues, as I mentioned to you previously. We have to have a place to try cases. We have an entire group of staff that work on the needs of summoning jurors, getting jurors to court, handling their problems, getting them to cases, and getting them paid their statutory fee. And so, you know, there's a myriad of issues that come up in managing the court that the chief judge is responsible for.
I know last year, Your Honor, you added 8 new courtrooms at the Regional Justice Center, and you had to get some assistance from the legislature to pay for that. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, Supreme Court Justice Hardesty, Art Ritchie of the 8th Judicial District Court, who's a family court judge, and our CEO, Steve Gerson, managed to champion through the legislature a bill, AB 65, which was a business model that was unheard of in our state that provided for a certain for filing fees in civil cases to fund civil judges. And the idea was that if we could have civil judges strictly assigned to civil cases, that we would reduce our time to disposition in civil cases to less than we were before, and hopefully down to the ABA standard. And we have, since that time, reduced the time to disposition in civil cases.
What, obviously security, visitor security at the Regional Justice Center is paramount. What types of things are new in that department?
Well, you know, the court has suffered some growing pains over the years, and our policies and procedures, quite frankly, did not grow as quickly as our security staff and the size of our court, the number of judges. I mean, the Regional Justice Center has 1 million people coming in and out in a year. And so, you know, I think that we have to deal with a balancing of having people feel that they're comfortable and safe at the courthouse while being treated courteously and professionally, But understanding that, people that come to the courthouse are not there for a vacation. And so while they may be there for something as simple as paying a ticket, we have some very serious cases that are emotionally charged. We may have two families of rival gang members coming to court for their family members to see their court proceedings. The courthouse is public. And so we have to balance all of those interests in keeping each person safe. And so we've made significant changes. We've tried to increase the quality and technology of our equipment, our training of our marshals, so that we minimize the inconvenience to the public while ensuring that you're safe while you're at the courthouse. That's our utmost concern.
Our court system has always been very innovative. Specialty courts have been part of the system for decades. Tell us about some of the specialty courts and why do we use them?
Well, we use specialty courts because years ago, I think it was pretty painfully obvious to those people involved in the criminal justice system that persons that were engaging in the use of drugs had a certain lifestyle that involved, other crimes, including stealing to pay for their drug habit. And so what was happening over a period of time is maybe you would see the same person be cycled in and out of the system. You don't put someone in prison for a gram of cocaine forever, or 10 years, or any long period of time in hopes that they're going to rehabilitate, but with what help? That's the issue. If they go to prison, they get out, and they have the same drug problem that they had when they went in, then it's just a matter of time before they're back in the system with a new case. And so the purpose of the specialty courts, whether it's DUI court for persons who have more than two drinking and driving cases or convictions, drug court, which involves both prescription as well as controlled substances like cocaine or heroin, methamphetamine, those types of drugs. That program is specifically directed at persons with drug addiction. We have DUI for alcohol addiction, and then we also have mental health court for people who need more support in our community, maybe committing a series of repeated nonviolent offenses, but yet they don't have the support in our community to be able to stay out of trouble. And so if they come into those programs and they do well, they're staying out of trouble, they're getting back on their own feet, they're becoming responsible for their own financial responsibilities, getting jobs, getting housing, and hopefully going on after a period of time in our program to be a contributing member of society and not going back to prison at your and my expense.
Gotcha. The Court Finder is an innovative feature, the first smartphone app of its kind in the country. Tell me about this.
That is something we are incredibly proud of. I can't tell you about the first day when I went to the App Store and downloaded our Court Finder app. It was very exciting. The first of its kind in the country. Basically, if you're a practitioner and you come into the Regional Justice Center and you left your schedule, or you just want to be able to have an easy access, the daily schedule by attorney, by judge, or by case name or number, for possible avenues of information, you can pull it up on your app on your smartphone. And so I think the attorneys have found it to be very useful. We're very excited about it, and actually we've had inquiries from other courts in the country about our technology.
And of course, you're fully embracing social media. It's of course 2014. You have Facebook and a number of other social medias. Why is that important to the system?
Well, I think it's difficult for the court to be able to communicate. We have certain ethical considerations. So in order to educate the public about what we're doing, or perhaps to answer questions that they may have, we needed avenues to be able to answer frequently asked questions, let them know what's going on if they're interested, let them know about our self-help centers, for example, if they want to come down and be able to get some assistance, but they don't have or are unable to afford an attorney. Being able to get that message out there is really important to us. And so we have a public information officer, Mary Ann Price, who is responsible for our Facebook, our Twitter, our blog, and our website. And so if any member of the public had any questions about any of those, we would certainly encourage them to contact her.
And as we move into this year and beyond, what types of technologies, what types of things are you looking to do to improve and streamline and improve the system?
Well, we've done many things to streamline and improve the system using technology. I think we had an archiving project of 40 million pages of paper have been scanned and destroyed so that we don't have to use up that space. We used to have pictures of our clerk's office where there were floor-to-ceiling files as far as the eye could see. That's not the case anymore. We're all electronic in every division of our court, and so we're paperless, which is a huge accomplishment. We want to move forward in technology, and we're, as we speak, planning or negotiating for juror kiosks, which will allow jurors to be able to check in, get information, and be able to do it in a manner that doesn't require them to stand in line. And we're pretty excited about it.
We sure appreciate you being here and sharing the information on the busiest court in the state.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for having me.